The deadline extended for the Transport Board suppliers of electric buses. A number of Barbadian dancers to get an opportunity to perform on the NBA stage. And coming up in sports, the England tour gets going in earnest tomorrow with the first warm-up match.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. The Transport Board is giving the people who want to supply it with electric buses more time to submit their proposals. That's the latest as the board presses ahead with its plan to use electric buses among its fleet of vehicles. Here's Lisa Broom.
Although it did not receive any written expressions of interest, the Transport Board says it did get several questions about the process. Acting General Manager Felicia Su says that's why they've extended the deadline date for the invitation for bids. Now, initially, interested parties were given from late December until last Friday, January 11th, to submit their proposals. But many people said that time frame was too short, given what they're being asked to provide.
The type of information that the bidders are required to provide include the information on their financial statements. Also, they're required to provide information on what they would want to provide to the board in relation to the break-even points and the budgets.
Ms. Su tells CBC News that's also why the board is hosting a bidders conference on Thursday.
At the conference, the board will share with them the technical requirements, and that includes the bus specs as well as the charging infrastructure. We are going to share with them the bid process, what is required, the security, the evaluation of the bids, the selection process. We shall also be looking at the project implementation and the operational aspect, and that includes the Transport Board's role and responsibilities, financial information, as well as information on any routes that they require.
The board indicated that it's looking for a fleet of between 120 to 180 electric vehicles. The bidders were also told they would be responsible for supplying the buses and charging stations on a revenue-sharing basis with the board. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Well, there's good news for Barbadians seeking to pursue a medical career. They may be eligible for significant help from the newly opened Ross University School of Medicine. The medical school today announced the launch of need-based scholarships for 2 Barbados students every semester, providing up to 6 scholarships per year. Sharika Griffith has that story.
Just 1 week after classes started at the Ross University School of Medicine, it's providing an opportunity for deserving Barbadians to study free of cost. And interested students need not wait to take advantage of the scholarships being offered, as applications are already open. To qualify, individuals must be citizens of Barbados and accepted to study at the university. In a statement from the university, Education Minister Santia Bradshaw is quoted as saying the ministry is very pleased to accept the award of the scholarships in the area of medical education. These scholarships signal the commencement of an important partnership between Ross and the ministry, and a journey which is anticipated to yield significant benefits for Barbados. She goes on to say it augments the government's extensive investment in the development of human capital in Barbados. The ministry remains fully committed to providing access to medical education and training opportunities for Barbadians who attain the required standards and are deserving of support to assist them in achieving their career goals. Also commenting is Dean and Chancellor of the University, Dr. William Owen. He says providing access to quality medical education is at the core of the university's mission. Ross is proud to offer these scholarships to Barbadian students to help them achieve their career aspirations as physicians. The scholarships will cover all tuition costs and fees, so long as the recipients maintain satisfactory grades throughout their enrollment. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
6 fantastic Barbadian dancers will get to showcase their talent on the NBA stage. I caught up with 2 of them this afternoon at Bassa Bassa Gym. Meet the Brooklynettes. They are described as a cutting-edge athletic dance team comprised of women whose professional credits include music videos, film, television, theater, and commercials. At Brooklyn Nets home games, they perform routines created by some of America's best choreographers to represent the diversity of Brooklyn. And guess what? Janae Padmore and Aisha Komashong are 2 of 6 Barbadians who will be dancing with them in April for a big NBA game against the Toronto Raptors. All this after taking up a once-in-a-lifetime audition opportunity. Janae says it was intense and included a rigorous warm-up session before the choreography.
We did it as a group, and then we started to break it down into smaller groups, and then they said, okay, we would make the cut now. So they made the cut, and about 12 girls made it to the callbacks, and we had the callbacks this Saturday, and we learned more choreography. We thought that choreography was fast. There was more. And we just pushed hard. Another intense day, fully intense day. We pushed through. We then had a dance battle. So we went 2 at a time, and they made cuts then, and then they made their selection.
The Brooklynettes were originally going to select only 2 dancers, but they were so impressed by the local talent that they tripled their offer.
I think we underestimate ourselves too much. That's what I think we do. We have so much talent here on this little rock. We have so many talented artists and creative persons, and it's about time that we start to give them the attention and credit due, because they came here, the dancers along with their director Crecia, and they were so impressed by us. We actually did a 4-day audition process in 2 days, and they were so impressed by how well we were able to pick up the information, how we were able to put it into our bodies and perform in 2 days, take formation changes, just we rolling with the punches and we're moving. They were so impressed, they were moved to tears. They were actually crying at the end of the second audition day, and we're just like, what? We're here so impressed with you all, and you guys are telling us that, and we're looking up to you. So I think we need to stop taking ourselves for granted, and we need to give us the credit that we deserve.
Once the NBA goes to schedule, the Barbadian dancers will be performing in Brooklyn on April 3rd. Minister of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostick, suggests much of the ills manifested in today's society can be traced to a lack of care. He shared the view at the launch of the St. Paul's Fiesta at the St. Paul's Anglican Church. The MP for the city of Bridgetown is also this year's patron. The St. Paul's Fiesta will be held under the theme, Making Caring Our Calling. This year's beneficiary is the Barbados Association of Palliative Care.
That is something that I consider to be very important. I believe that we have not cared enough as a country for our young people. We've not cared enough as parents for our children. We've not cared enough as a church for our young members. And so what we are seeing manifesting itself now in its ugly form, I believe, is the fact that we as a society have not cared enough. But thank God there are people and the associations and organizations that do care.
Minister of Home Affairs Edmund Hinkson is urging Barbadians to unify in the fight against substance abuse and crime. He says one of government's top priorities is maintaining law and order, and those who are committed to Barbados' progress should support its efforts.
It cannot be that for the last week, every other night, there's gunfire across some part of Barbados and people being killed. And there's the, as I said, inextricable link between illegal drug use and criminal activity and guns and violence.
Minister Hinkson made the comment during his address at the National Council of Substance Abuses church service at the First Baptist Church on Constitution Road. He encouraged the church and all other stakeholders to turn their attention to assisting with the positive development of the country's youth.
All of us have to assist the youth in their involvement in these positive extracurricular activities in order to assist in their acquisition of positive characteristics. All of us must play a part in inculcating in our children and our country's young people the spirit of volunteerism, the need to give back to our country positively, civic mindedness, and a patriotic commitment to our nation.
A local service organization has been urged to help get young people off the blocks. This from Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott, who was speaking during the Lions Club of Scotland District's 27th Charter Dinner. Senator Walcott notes an all-hands-on-deck approach is needed to tackle the country's social issues. Now, he encouraged the organization to go out and build relationships with communities as a way to reach the youth.
You can identify teenagers in the communities in challenged circumstances whom you can mentor, take them out, expose them to different activities. These may be sporting, cultural, and social, and subtly influencing their system of values. They will then share their experiences with their peers, and if this mentoring process is successfully executed, I am sure it will reduce substantially the number of teenagers that will gravitate to the blocks.
Senator Walcott adds that the elderly people of the district should not be forgotten. He says a recreational and a daycare center would be beneficial for the area.
A place where they can go during the day, interact, make friends, be involved in various activities, have lectures and talks on the health care and other things, play games, dance, learn to use computers, or indeed enhance their skills in using computers. Do art and craft, utilize their culinary skills by making jams, jellies, sugar cakes, and other traditional Bajan favorites, which can be sold and generate some income.
The service at the Allerton Wesleyan Holiness Church in St. George was anything but ordinary yesterday morning. That's because two special groups paid a visit to the church, joining members in the Sunday morning worship. Now, not only did the groups share in the service, but one of them, the Barbados Association of Retired Fire Officers, made a special presentation to one of the senior pastors. President of the association, Keith Ward, says it's part of their tradition to visit a different member's church annually and give a small financial contribution to help with its work. The other visitors were from Victorious Ladies, the female support group of the Cancer Support Services. Chairperson of the 8-year-old charity, Rosalind Griffith, says they have members who have been living cancer-free for as many as 20 years, and they want to help even more.
The group engages in offering educational, empowerment, fun, and fellowship through various activities and events, uplifting and encouraging each other, being a support system when persons need assistance, being it prayer, someone to talk to, transportation, or just a listening ear. Our aim is to be that buddy friend who's there to lift each other when in need, having a shoulder to lean on, someone who cares, understands your struggles and what you are going through or feeling.